Hi, I'm Mario Guerra, the two-time former mayor of the great city of Downey. And you're listening, Talking Downey with Mayor Mario. So welcome. I have a special guest here today. She's very special. She's my dear wife. Has never been on the show before. And we thought we'd have, this is my wife, Ann, by the way, of almost 40 years. Hi, honey.
Hi, dear.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
So we thought today we'd do a special Thanksgiving holiday recap and thoughts and share some of the things that have made those holidays special for us. Give some of our listeners some tips. Some people that may be down and out of where to go for toys, for help with food and so forth. So I want to tell you that she knows what's my favorite holiday of the year.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
It's all about food.
It's all about food. I didn't get this way overnight, so been working hard. But Thanksgiving has always been kind of a fight. It's a week. It's not just one day, but it's an entire week. And,
yes.
And by the way, she's an amazing cook. But,
thank you.
We go through our traditions. Like Thanksgiving Day. Tell us a little bit about the day. What'll happen?
Okay, so Thanksgiving morning is very special to me because all my kids get up early and they come and help. We have a family recipe, special recipe with stuffing where we are toasting loaves and loaves and loaves of bread and start out with butter and onions and celery, and that fragrance just permeates through the whole house. And then we all gather and tear up all the little pieces of bread and put everything together. And as simple as it sounds, it's a really neat tradition that I'm just happy that all the kids, I shouldn't say all the kids, Haley will come and help with my grandkids. My sons come in kind of groggy, and they provide coffee for us during the morning. But it just starts the whole day off great. And it's just something that I always look forward to. It's just the closeness of family.
And then they come back later on in the day
and
when
they eat it all.
When the food is on the But
after I do everything else.
You can imagine. Remember how toast smells? But think of 18 loaves of bread toasted on there. So it's always good. So those little traditions where keep things going. Like for example, we have another tradition. We always go out, and this just started, and we've kept it for many years. We go to sushi the night before Thanksgiving. On the Wednesday night, we go off with sushi with the family. We get the big sushi boat and just little things like that are just memorable. And now, we have 5 kids, and we have 4 grandkids. Unfortunately, 2 of them live up in by Reno, and then we have the 2 that are here that are being raised in Downey. So unfortunately, the 2 up there, we don't get to see them as often. But we're making memories for them all, and our kids have good memories of that. Yes. So here's some things that happened for us. The weekend of Thanksgiving, this weekend on there, we put out our Christmas decoration. Well, many of you know where we live. We're the SC-UCLA house. So whoever wins the game on there gets to put their decorations. And it just started one year. We have a 12-foot high, 8 feet wide of exact replica I had of the scoreboard at the Rose Bowl. So the score goes in there of the SC-UCLA game. There's a 10-foot wide sign that says, wishing you a very Trojan Christmas. On the other side, wishing you a very Bruin Christmas. We have reindeer cheerleaders. One side with the SC uniform, the other side with the UCLA, Santa kicking a football.
We have a cute little Notre Dame elf that's providing popcorn for the SC cheering section.
Yeah, because Notre Dame,
a little rivalry
SC,
there too.
So it's always painful to whoever loses the game.
So Mario's in pain this year.
I don't have to put up any other decorations.
No, I have sons to do that.
Yeah, I'm not doing
and it's
that.
all going to be red and gold, and it's just going to be beautiful.
Anyways, it is what it is. So,
but that's a tradition.
It's a tradition. It may, every other year it's not good. But people come by our house and they know where we live because we said
pictures.
The SC-UCLA house. It's interesting. Obviously, I'm a Catholic clergy. We're a diaconate family. And there's nothing religious in our front yard about that.
There's a lot in the house.
So there's a lot in the house.
This started many moons ago. And there's a little guilt there. But we'll even have people come up to our door and knock on the door requesting can they kind of climb inside the whole
little picket
scene
fence
and take pictures next to the scoreboard and stuff. So it's quite fun. And especially fun this year for me.
So this year also, it's The city of Downey is a very special place, as all of you know. If you're watching this, it's called Talking Downey for a reason. Ann grew up in the South Bay. So when we first got married, I said, I already owned a small house over on Conklin Street behind the Beaches Market. I said, we're going to live in Downey. And she was, South Bay snobbish on there.
No, he wasn't.
Well, you didn't want to live in Downey.
I didn't know what Downey was.
I know. So anyway, so now I kid her because we've been married almost 40 years. And we've lived in the same house on Yankee Street since '87. Mm-hmm. So, oh my gosh, since '87.
Yeah.
So it'll be almost 30 years just living there. Almost 40 years just
So
living
he teases
there.
me that I've lived in Downey longer than I lived in the city of Torrance.
Yeah, in the South
But they
Bay.
both hold a special place in my heart.
One the pre-Mario and one post-Mario, if you will. But you know what? Downey is a great community to raise your family. We know so many people here. We feel loved, and we feel like we're loving a lot of people. But some people, in the holidays, we have the Christmas tree decorations that people, really go out of their way to do that.
Yeah.
It's always fun taking the kids and then now the grandkids around to seeing that. We have a holiday decorating contest that the city puts on. And one of the neat things was when I was in office is that we get to give those awards
away.
And the families on there. And then
A lot of pride.
A lot of pride.
A lot of pride.
Yeah. So we have the Christmas decoration, lighting, tree lighting, if you will, at
The
City
parade.
Hall. And the parade.
The parade is this Sunday.
Is coming up on there. And then you have so many different charitable groups. The city of Downey is known for having our own police and fire, our own school district, our own community service groups, from Rotary to Kiwanis to Seroptimus. They're just amazing. Every single one of our groups and our churches, we have 40 churches almost in the city of Downey. They do something for the holiday.
Yeah.
They really reach out to those that are less fortunate. So if you're having issues, if
families in need that need either food or
toys
or just some kind of support, almost every church in our city,
and our police and
our
fire
police and fire
department.
and Downey school system, it's like we're all one big huge family willing to help others in need. So look into that, and I'm sure that people in need will find help.
Yeah. So this is that time of year when you want to do joyful things.
Yeah.
I remember, so one of our projects when I was in the seminary, we were given a project to do outreach. And what we chose to do, and we started Angel Tree, it was to give toys to the kids of the prisoners that are in prison.
Yes, at St. Raymond's.
And at St. Raymond's. And even some people from other churches or even our own church would say, well, why are you giving presents or toys to, prisoners, kids, and so forth? And it was so obvious that, the kids have no fault of what the mom or dad did. And sometimes what we ended up doing, we adopted one time 200 kids. Yeah. And they would give us their sizes, and they would give us, their toy preferences and so forth. And then we'd have church members adopt them, adopt a Sunday, and it was great.
And we would have a huge party with Santa Claus for the kids. And the kids there, they didn't know why they were there.
Yeah.
They just knew that there was a great party, and there was a lot of love at St. Raymond's for them. We had so many wonderful helpers with big hearts, generous to a fault. And it was really a special time in our lives when our church community would come together, and these parents and grandparents were so grateful.
The one thing sometimes that when we ended up doing the first couple of years, we noticed that the presents that the kids were getting, they weren't being unwrapped. And, there'd be a grandmother, and we talk to them. We say, you can
go ahead and have them open the presents.
She says, and one of them told us, several of them did, we have nothing else for them on Christmas morning. Yeah. So we're going to keep them that way, wrapped. So that kind of changed our attitude after the second or third year. So then we had that the kids can come and choose toys. It'd be tons and tons of toys, and they can each get at least
unwrapped
toys, one or two, and then we'd raffle off some bigger things. Anyways, it was a party for 300 people, and it was awesome. And what? It filled our hearts. But the people that were doing the giving and the people that, and by the way, you gave anonymously.
Anonymously.
Your name wasn't on there. You adopted.
Because the gifts were actually coming from their mom or dad or grandfather that was in prison. And what was heartwarming and heartbreaking at the same time is we would get the applications from the inmate and the notes that they would write to their children that we would then transcribe and put them on the gifts were just
Yeah.
heartbreaking but endearing. And we would even afterwards get thank you cards from the different prisons that they were at, knowing that their child remembered them, and knew that mom or dad or whomever loved them very much and were not forgotten.
So that's the ultimate sacrifice, and from us is making sure that no one is left behind. Make sure that it doesn't matter how the circumstances or
Right.
what the parents did or anybody else on there. Let's try to take care of our own, and our own means our children, even children of other people. So this is always that time of feeling good,
Yeah.
if you will. So don't feel bad that you feel good about reaching out and giving to others. That's okay to do that too.
Yeah.
And we live by that. We love giving out. We love doing things for others, but that's not the reason you do it. But if you feel good about it later, that's okay
Because
too.
as we all know, we're all called to take care of each other.
Yeah.
And Downey is a great community, and does that. They take care of their own, and then they reach beyond the borders.
Yeah.
So
So, again, when you've been married a long time, we want to give a tip to younger couples now, because we've talked about this many times. So, in our earlier years, we'd go to, I'm Cuban, so we have Noche Buena. Noche Buena is Christmas Eve, if you will. So, Christmas Eve, my mom would make a pig, okay, lechon asado. So we look forward to it. We'd always go to the 4:00 mass, and then we'd all go over to my mom's house. She'd have the pig, and we'd wait for my brothers, and it'd be a big celebration. And the kids get to open up one present there. So, and that was great. But then the problem was we'd get home at 11 o'clock at night on Christmas Eve, and then, the kids had to go put to bed, and then Santa, we had to help Santa.
we had to put out the cookies and milk.
Put together things, and then sometimes bring in things that Santa might have pre-planted in the garage or put together. So it was a long night, okay? We'd be, 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. So then, of course, whenever the first kid would get up, go downstairs.
Like 5:30 or 6 in the morning.
We'd always have the camera with the tripod ready. We could just turn it on, and we
Yeah.
could see that.
Yeah.
I want to look at some of those
Yeah.
videos. Sometimes we
Just
take
hearing
them.
their little voices
Yeah,
and the
see
excitement.
what they look like. Yeah. So then Christmas morning was always a blast. And then after they open up presents, everybody would get dressed. We'd go to the Whitneys, have a community breakfast over there.
Yes.
And then we'd come home. But here is the problem, if you will, for a lack of a way of putting it, for a problem. It's not really a problem. But we'd say, okay, kids, grab a toy. We now got to go to Grandma Kay's and Grandpa Jim, Ann's parents. And then we'd be there for a while. And then we'd go to, if they lived in Torrance, then we'd go to Hyndman Park to my mom's house. So the kids then we'd get home at 6 o'clock on Christmas Day. Everybody's exhausted. Kids hadn't even been outside.
It wasn't
playing.
fair to them.
It wasn't fair to them.
Yeah, the
It
kids
wasn't
need to
fair
be
to them.
home.
So we were blessed. We got great parents. We had great parents on there. God rest their souls, are up in heaven. So after a couple years of doing this, being exhausted, thinking this isn't working, we said, hey, we want to make a deal with your grandparents. And they got along really good, which made it really easy for us. How about at Christmas Day, we make dinner. You guys come over to our house, okay? We'll celebrate Christmas here, having you both here. And you know what? They bought it.
Well, and it was, I always think about the kids. It was so much nicer because the kids could be home.
Yeah.
And if they're tired and cranky, they're home, they could take a nap. But they got to check out all their new toys and go outside and play with them. They weren't being carted around to different houses, which, they only get one childhood. They need to enjoy those Christmas days, know? And
we're getting old, and we needed to enjoy Christmas Day.
yeah,
We were
and
exhausted
so
by the end of
it
the day.
was low key,
Yeah.
but it was nice to have both families there. Your brothers would come over, and my mom and dad, and your mom and aunt, and so you need to remember that it's about the kids, and try and think of a plan where the kids can stay home and love what they got and love their family at home.
So that's the biggest tip.
That was our
especially to young families on there. We know We know on Thanksgiving, like for example, our daughter, she'll come over in the morning on Thanksgiving Day, like she said, to help make the bread and stuffing. But then the afternoon and for the dinner, she's going to her mother-in-law's and taking the kids. Hopefully we'll see them later part of the day, but we're not including them in the meal because of that. So you gotta take both sides in.
Balance it.
We get it. Okay,
Yeah.
maybe take every other year or something
Yeah.
like that. So now what we do is kind of cool. Okay, so Noche Buena, we don't make the pig anymore, but we still go to 4:00 Mass, and then afterwards we go with Father Tony will come with us, and we'll go to a nice restaurant. My mom liked that her family a couple of years when she couldn't cook the big pig, so we would go to a fancy restaurant for dinner with everybody in the whole family, and that's what we're doing this year.
Yeah.
So. And I don't know if I should tell this to anybody, but Ann made it for Fogo in Pasadena. Our parish is in St. Philip the Apostle, which has amazing people. It's up right across from Caltech in Pasadena. We love our parish and we love our pastor, Father Tony. So I'll help in the 4:00 Mass, and then she made it this year for Fogo. So there'll be a lot of eating going on that night in Christmas Eve. So so that's kind of neat that we still carry on a different tradition. So let me tell you a story that happened last Christmas that you never know. You never know what God throws your way, and you need to be open to other ideas. Okay?
Yeah.
So last year, Father Tony and I did the service. The family's there. We bring them up afterwards. We're taking photos on the altar. So Father Tony says to me, he goes, "Hey, I have one of my mentors from when I was in high school here. And can he come to dinner with us? He doesn't have any other family members," and so forth. So I looked at him and I said, "Sure. How am I going to say no?"
Yeah.
He's asking me to bring this person that means a lot to him. So we did. So I texted Ann. We're gonna meet him there. He's coming in my car with me. And yet, we were a little disturbed. It's kind of okay.
We just thought it would be a little awkward because we didn't know this person.
Yeah.
But of course.
We didn't know him, and you got the whole family of 7 and 8 and Father Tony, and then you have a new element, if you will, a new person. So, but we were open. We, obviously, how can we say no?
Yeah.
So it turns out that he's this great little Irishman.
Yes.
Okay.
Big golfer.
Big golfer from Ann's area in Ireland.
He's a Ryan, and I'm a Ryan. So I'm like, hey, we've got to be relatives.
He had just lost his wife 6 months earlier. Lost his daughter. His only daughter less than a year before that. So he was going to be alone on Christmas Eve and on Christmas Day. So as it turned out,
and we didn't know that originally, and we were so glad that we welcomed him in.
Yeah, absolutely.
And now he's a member of our family.
This year, this only was last year, and this year we invited him to come along to Fogo, and coming out to dinner with us and so forth, and he was very appreciative. So you never know, okay? Your little Christmas miracles that you help somebody. So we love this story, and we're telling you this story because at first, like anybody else, like, we have it's not going as planned, and we have a new element thrown into the family, and yet God said, "You're doing the right thing." Helping my people, if you will, God's people on there. And he's just a dear, dear man. That means a lot to Father Tony too. So the moral of that story, be open.
Be open to changes.
To helping others, that you never know what the situation is. So,
like, love your traditions, but be open to changes too.
Yeah. And we'll continue with that. So, so we'd love to hear some of your traditions. We'd love to hear some of your stories. I know this episode was more about, us and talking a little bit about Downey and the beautiful place that this is, because it always reaches out to others. And we love living here, and we love the community, and we love what we stand for. So be open to all the different events going on. Try to take your family to many of them. Go around the neighborhoods and see the beautiful decorations of people that because you're making memories for your family, just like we knew what houses to go by when we were little.
Well, I feel like we make memories for our family, but all these people who do these beautiful decorations, you're making memories for other people. And our kids are always proud to say they're from Downey and bring their girlfriends or boyfriends and show them just the celebration that goes on during Christmas in the town. So, you're doing. Thank you to all who decorate because you're creating memories for little ones.
You know what's funny is I was just started thinking about it, and I said it at the very beginning. So ours was kind of, our decorations turned out to be just, we did it one year and then it kept going from that and so forth. But people know when that we're the USC UCLA house, if you will. They take pictures of it. It's not the greatest decorations, but it's like a theme, if you will.
Yeah.
And people know where we live. And they say, "Oh, you live on Yankee Street. Oh, you're the SC or UCLA house." It's that. Anyway, so it's kind of funny when we're both gone. Somebody will remember us from that.
Yeah.
And some people will make memories from that. So. Anyways, so listen, we'd welcome your thoughts. We'd love to know your traditions. Thanks for hanging and listening on this episode of Talking Downey. Downey, you're a great community. We're proud to be residents. And my South Bay converted wife has now lived here a long time, and she knows where everything is in the city of Downey. And people know us on there. She loves going to the grocery store and 15 people, they know her. Oh, you're Mario's wife.
You're Mario's wife.
Or you're Haley's mom, or
yes,
Ryan's
that's my
mom.
identity.
So she used to be, when she was in charge of the hot lunch over at St. Raymond's, right? For many years, she was known as the hot lunch ladies. I used to be known as the hot lunch lady's husband.
I love that.
So yeah, that was good. Many times I did that. Anyways, and then you missed that, right? Making the bologna sandwiches, the sandwich program used to be at St. Raymond. So she'd get together with all her 8 or 9
Filipino ladies.
So, and on Friday mornings they would make bologna sandwiches, and then they would take into La Placita, about 400 or 500 sandwiches, La Placita in downtown LA, and they would give it out to the homeless there. So I ate a lot of bologna, literally.
The delicacy.
The delicacy. So anyways, so thank you for hanging with us. Feel free to give me a call if you have ideas of things you want to see in the new year for our show. My cell number is 562-706-4114, 562-706-4114, or email me at mario@guerrains.com, mario@guerrains.com. So any final things you'd like to say?
Just have a wonderful Thanksgiving with your family.
And holiday
and
season.
Peace to all of you during this season.
So God bless you. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to Talking Downey with Mayor Mario. And we want to say thank you so much to our sponsor, Financial Partners Credit Union, for over 80 years helping Downey residents, helping 16 branches that they have, 85,000 members. Credit unions are not banks. They're better than banks because the profit goes back to the members. So always think of a credit union, but Financial Partners has done amazing things. So as a matter of fact, the Downey Parade, they're the main sponsor for the Downey Parade, for Rocket Fever, Girls in STEM, so many different things in the city.
So much involvement in the community.
City, the community on there, not only financially, but hands-on. So thank you so much to Financial Partners Credit Union, and we wish everybody a great holiday season.